Which gate is this? It's the Whitechapel gate. We haven't managed to open it. Now we do. Now we have. So I got in through here, and death. Death happened. Is that only one? Who are you?
This one's mine!
It is not just one.
I'll take its head!
Ow! I was trying to dodge that. Stop it. Okay. Worked out. We have a little bit of a dead end here. You awful. Everything is awful. I'm gonna change my weapon here. Do you see me now? Okay. It's easy to avoid the farts. Not so much the damage. Whew. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. How do I miss? Oh my god, I'm an idiot. And some ergotamine and salicine. Okay. Those things are super dangerous. Hey, do you not know how to travel? It's a good the weapon is a good thing to break their defense. Good. Whew. A lot better now that I have the weapon upgraded, honestly. So here. There's that person. There it is.
It's locked, all right.
Reed's mansion. This is his house. Wait, this person then? Yes, Jonathan? Spending next summer in France. Absolutely. Why not? Oh no. There's an imposter pretending to be Jonathan, living in my house. How dare the imposter do these things? And I have a bed as well. I can sleep in this bed. Wait a minute, this is my room. Wait. It's a hideout, of course. It's my room. What am I saying? It's the hideout. Mother.
Aubrey, I'm not sure visiting Italy is a good idea this time of the year.
Aubrey? Was that my sister's name? Okay, so she's just senile. That's why she was talking about me. She doesn't open the door, actually. I hope I can open the door. Apparently not. Ooh, treasure. Steal everything from my house. What is that? Flowers. That's my sister's room, then. The flowers. The small key. Reed Mansion, 4th of April, 1908. My dear and beloved John, when you receive this letter, you will be 35, and I'll be long gone. I feel a little silly writing you this first letter that you won't read for a few years. I struggled for a long time about how best to write you this, until I remembered the puzzle and riddles I invented for you when you were a boy. Oh, how you loved to solve those enigmas. Well, I found it would be a good idea to propose to you one final game. It will probably be less rewarding, no candles or exotic treasures for you if you decipher the game this time, but a greater treasure, perhaps the truth. This is my only attempt for you to explain why I chose to leave my family without an explanation. If you want to know why, simply play my little game. It's really up to you, my son. Rest assured that I love you. I promise my family was and still is everything to me. I remember the first time I held you and your sister in my arms, my treasures, my jewels. To see you grow up, play, and laugh filled my heart with joy every time I went back to our home. I could have killed to protect you, my son, my daughter, my wife. But fate found me in the end, and I had to make a tough decision. The worst was to disappear without a word. I decided to do it anyway, and soon I'll be gone for good. I don't ask for forgiveness, but for understanding. If you want to know more, all you have to do is remember how happy we were back in those days. If you want to play, or if you want to find the next message, think green grass and tall trees on sunny Sundays. From your affectionate father, Aubrey Reed. Green grass and tall trees. I would guess on a sunny Sunday. That probably would be the church.
I remember Sunday walks in the park.
Oh, well, I guess he knows. He knows what it is. She's unknown? Why would she be unknown?
Aubrey, I'm not sure visiting Italy is a good idea this time of the year.
There's a lot of treasure around here. And I assume that's my father. She's off again. Awfully busy. The night is so peaceful. I understand exactly what that poet meant the other night. Who said that? Oh my god, so many people. Oh. Oh, it spied automatically. I think it did. It didn't force me to click on the button.
Your father and I have spoken about your fiancé, Mary. We believe he'll be an honorable husband for you. We'll set a date for the marriage then. That way, I'm sure one of my children will give me grandchildren. I understand your thirst for knowledge, Jonathan, and your father and I are proud of it. But you are not that young anymore, my son. When will I meet your soulmate? You can ascribe my romantic tendencies to my French origins if you want, Aubrey. But I'll never cease to believe in a match made in heaven, my beloved.
Aubrey, I think is...
I really wish you could meet her, Mother. You would love her.
Oh. Oh, so it's official then. Okay, well, I guess it's official then. It's Lady Ashbury. What exactly did he get, though? I've discovered part of my father's testament. Maybe. If I take time to investigate further, I may finally find out why he disappeared all those years ago. Let's track that. I have the Braille thing still, but everything else is done. And I can't go in through here.
I cannot enter.
I wonder if it's because she's...
It's locked.
Huh. Yeah, you can't go in there. At least not right now. Curious. Excuse me.
Mother. Good evening.
Jonathan! Is it you? Where have you been, my prodigal son?
I'm right here, Mother. I'm finally home.
Yes, for this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and now found. But where is your sister? Where is Mary?
Mary? She is gone, Mother.
I know she's gone. The question is, when will she return as you have? I miss my grandson so much. It's been days since their last visit.
Fun fact, prodigal doesn't mean lost. Prodigal means when you spend a lot of money. You're prodigal if you spend a bunch of money unreasonably.
Have you returned to Whitechapel Cemetery since Mary's funeral?
I never want to go back to that awful place. Wait. I think I went back once. And you were there too. And Mary? No, that can't be true.
It was just a bad dream, Mother.
A nightmare, yes. Mary was so angry. I walked back home alone. If that kind policeman had not called Avery from the station, I don't know what would have happened.
Mother, do you know what's been going on in this area?
Not really. I don't go out much due to the epidemic, and when I do, I tend to get lost.
What do you mean you get lost? I hope you don't go outside alone.
Of course not. When I go out, your father always comes with me, but he leaves me there sometimes, and I have trouble finding the way back.
Do you need anything, Mother? Can I help you?
I just want you to stay with me, Jonathan. Your room is ready. I asked Avery to make your bed.
I'll stay as long as I can, I promise. Do you need anything else?
Just one thing. Stop staring at me like that. As much as I love you, it breaks my heart to look at those empty and dead eyes.
It is a bit of a... I know, it's like a...
Are you working on a new painting?
Not recently. I have trouble focusing on my subject, and my mind quickly drifts. It's the same thing when I try to write poetry.
I recently met a talented painter with an excellent technique. I wish you two could meet. I'm sure you'd like her.
I'd be glad to meet her. What is her name? Is she famous? Is she dead too?
She's not famous, and her name is of no importance. And yes, she is also dead.
The important thing is, I hope you two get along. If she ever fancies meeting your mother, I'd be glad to welcome her into my home.
So she just treats him as a vampire and no big deal. And it's not acknowledged? It's not acknowledged in the text. It's implied. What?
Father seems to have left me some documents. Some sort of treasure hunt game. Do you know anything about them?
No, Johnny. But your father always loved to write these little games for you when you were a boy. Don't you remember?
I remember now. He used to post me these riddles, as though they were sent by a mysterious games master. I'd spend weeks trying to decipher them.
Your father was always so proud each time you found the answer. He was not just the serious doer banker everybody thought he was.
I was proud too. How could I forget that?
The important thing is that you remember it now. I'll tell your father the next time I see him. He'll be so happy.
Could Father have conceived some sort of final game for me before he left?
I really can't say, Johnny. Perhaps you should talk with Avery about that. He was your father's confidant, more than I.
Do you really see Mary and Father? Do you also see me as one of the dead?
Yes. For many years, it was just a game. Since your father left us without a word, I took to the habit of speaking to him.
Yes, I remember. I sometimes spied on you and listened to you talking with Father in the garden. It made me so angry then. But it was just a game, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. But since then, my poor dead Mary visited me in my room. She led me to her grave, and there you were. I now know the dead can haunt us.
Fair enough.
I'm so sorry. You did not deserve to endure this. Mary should never have done this to you.
That's true, my son. But you know what the worst part is? I liked it when Mary spoke in my head. Now she is silent, and it makes me so sad.
Should I leave you alone? Just ask, and I swear you'll never hear from me again.
Oh, no, Johnny. You're always welcome in this house. And one day, when I finally die, we'll all be together again. Just as Mary promised us.
I'm not sure that's how it works.
Why do you say Mary is visiting you, Mother? You know that's impossible.
Why should it be? Are you not standing in front of me right now? Why should it be any different with your sister?
But Mary really is dead, Mother.
Yes. And are you not dead too? Isn't your father dead? And my grandson? And my son-in-law? You're all gone. But you all still visit me from time to time.
But I'm not dead, Mother. I'm really here, talking to you, trying not to cry.
Oh, it breaks my heart to have to tell you this. But of course you're dead, my darling boy. Just look at you, as pale as my Mary.
Oh. She thinks I'm a ghost. Huh. That's really well done.
Goodbye, Mother. Try to rest now.
Goodbye, son. Please come back soon.
That's really well done. Because you can't really tell. It's not easy to tell. Huh. That is so well done. Either way, now we have a mission. Oh, we have downstairs as well. So we can't go into Mary's room. We need to talk about this with this Averly person. I'm not really sure the name. Old letter. Reed mentioned 8th of March 1908. My dear Avery, as I already told you several days ago, I may be forced to leave England, if only for a few months while I'm away and until... Oh, this might be... Our father might have been a vampire. If only for a few months while I'm away and until my son comes back to London, I want you to take the best care of our house. I already made the entire necessary arrangements to have your wages increased and paid as long as you'll work. You promised me you'd protect my dear wife and serve her to the best of your ability. For that, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. If I am never to return, you are the only man I fully trust. Believe me, your most affectionate friend, Aubrey Reed. And I suppose as well, boss. And that's Avery Cork. That is that person. That is the person that we saw. They're in here. Get some treasure, always. Got some paintings. Statues. Grandfather clocks. 5 shillings around. Aluminium shard. Hey Avery, what's up? You don't mind me being here for a little while? Just, you know, robbing the place. It's the same painting as outside. We have some silver forks, some ferrous tartrate, and normal things. Hey.
Good evening, Avery.
Mr. Jonathan? I can't believe my own eyes. Oh, it's a miracle. We all thought you were... Oh, sir, your poor sister. What a tragedy.
I know, Avery. I know about my sister's murder.
Miss Reed expected you to return to assist with the funeral, right up until the last minute. Where have you been, Mr. Jonathan? We needed you here.
How is my mother?
Not well, I'm afraid, sir. Miss Reed is very fragile since the police brought her back home.
The police? What happened?
Miss Reed was found walking in the streets. She kept saying she had spoken with her son and daughter. She's resting now.
And she mentioned already that he asked the police to bring her home. Which isn't the case. The police found her. She just figured it was him who asked.
Has she received appropriate medical care?
I'm taking care of Miss Reed myself. Hospitals are so overwhelmed by the epidemic that they can only accept patients infected by influenza.
Avery is the only one who is looking after Emmeline Reed now. Avery has been paid to take care of Reed's family until his last breath. And Emmeline is only looked after by Avery Quark. Emmeline frequently speaks to dead people, including her son.
Perhaps we could arrange a short trip. Somewhere sunny, like France. She has always been very fond of France. I think leaving London could do her good.
I'm afraid Miss Reed is too frail for the moment. Recently, she started going out at night without remembering it. I have to watch her carefully.
Mm-hmm. Also, I'm not really sure... I mean, I'm not a doctor, obviously, but dementia is sped up by drastic changes in life. And it's very natural to... Well, it's very obvious for people when you think about it, like somebody very close to you passes away, or you have a great tragedy in your life, and that does bring on dementia in people, or obviously great sicknesses and illnesses and that sort of stuff. A change in scenery from London to Paris, or to France, could just make her unmoored, literally. I mean, not literally, because unmoored is for boats, but yeah, it could be really bad for her. I don't know, maybe it would be really good. Maybe it would actually moor her more, because it was where she grew up.
What is the situation in this part of town?
For a time, the West End seemed spared by the epidemic. But the situation is getting much worse.
Have you no relatives anywhere? I'll understand if you want to take a few days to see family.
Your father managed to guarantee my earnings as long as I take care of this house, sir. My sisters are dead, and I've never met my nephews. I'll stay, sir.
I'm sorry I could not be here for Mary's funeral.
Your mother was strong, sir, but your support would have been appreciated. Apart from the priest and I, no one else attended your sister's funeral.
To be present at the funeral with you both was my dearest wish, Avery. But I am sorry, I simply could not attend.
I would not dare to question your absence, Mr. Jonathan. All I can say is that we missed you a great deal during these difficult days.
I found an old letter written by my father and addressed to me. Do you know anything about it, Avery?
Your father wanted me to give you this letter for your 35th birthday, but you left for the war, and the letter remained in his office until tonight.
I realize now you knew my father better than I did. Do you know why he left, Avery? Did he ever speak to you about his departure?
No, sir. Mr. Reed was not exactly forthcoming. Perhaps this letter will give you the information you require.
I don't think that it will. It didn't say much.
Tell me the truth, Avery. Do you feel forced to stay here? Would you leave this house without the arrangement made by my father?
No, sir. I have nowhere else to go. And I promised your father I'd take care of his family as long as I live.
This house is dead, Avery. There is a curse on this family. You really should consider leaving.
If only you could have been here sooner or more often. Maybe this house would not be that empty. But you're here now, sir, so my task is not over.
Considering the recent tragedies in this family, I'd understand if you want to leave or decide to serve another house.
Then I will stay. All I ask is that you take care of my own funeral if I die before the end of the epidemic. No mass grave, please, sir.
Do you know my mother speaks to the dead members of this family?
Yes. I sometimes hear her speaking to you, Miss Mary, and her baby. Sometimes your father, too.
So she thinks I'm also dead. And what about you?
I believe she only sees her relatives as the dead she speaks to, Mr. Jonathan. It breaks my heart to see Miss Reed like that.
She may get better. It's only a hypothesis, but I know my mother is strong. Whatever illusions have clouded her mind, they will fade in time.
Yes. With time, Miss Reed will recover from this cursed year. I know that your return can only be beneficial to that process.
I don't know that it could, actually.
Do you really think I don't take enough care of my mother, Avery?
Yes, I do, Mr. Jonathan.
You clearly have something more to say. Speak your mind, Avery.
I know you work hard to help the sick, but what will you do once the epidemic is over?
My home is here, and I have nowhere else to go. But this house will need some improvements if I move here. Some radical changes.
That's good news. Whatever changes you have in mind, I'm sure we will find an arrangement that suits your mother also.
There it is.
Goodbye, Avery. Please watch over my mother until I return.
Of course, Mr. Jonathan. But please return as soon as possible.
He gives a lot of experience. Realistically speaking, I wonder what Jonathan could do. I mean, he can't stay out during the day, so it's a pain as a vampire to stick around.